Hey everybody, welcome to another exciting episode of Javier in the Air. That's Javier in the air, not on the air. So, welcome back to those of you who have been to the show before. Welcome to those who have not. Welcome to my little bit of the internet, or the interwebs, as they say a lot on the commercial radio commercials. I have a great show for you. It's going to be about 35 minutes. But I have my trash in the hood. Gonna have my uh, Zen Moment. Gonna have my tasting, which we did wheat beer last week. We had 14 submissions and they were all fantastic. We're gonna have that, and then we're gonna have our Riddle Me This. So it's gonna be a great show. So for those of you who have not watched the show before, Trash in the Hood is a um, section that I have that has to do with picking up trash throughout my neighborhood. Now, I have been getting a lot of great feedback about that, both here and off of the show, as I walk around the neighborhood. It's really good. I started it about 87 or so weeks ago. And there's a reason why I use the numbers and not just how many months ago it was. So I started picking up stuff as I went walking because I needed to get walking for my health, and I figured I would kill two birds with one stone. I have noticed a decrease in the amount of trash that I find on certain streets. Now, there's certain pass through streets that go from one busy road to another busy road. So those are the ones that are feeder roads, and a lot of people go on there, and a lot of people who don't live in this neighborhood use those two streets. And so that's why we find almost the same amount of trash as I find from week one as to now week 87. So it's unfortunate, but that's just how it is for now until they finish construction and they start having different streets going down different places. All right, so let's start off with Trash in the Hood. Dark Frog Social Media presents Trash in the Hood, weeks 86 and 87. Okay, and so here is day one of week 86. So you see there's some big junk area in the middle, almost middle left, and you have the normal amount of, normal cigarettes, and we have some steaks, and we have some liquor bottles and to-go bags, food wrappers, stuff like that. Like, again, as I mentioned, there's a lot of stuff that gets thrown out on the main streets, and so it makes it difficult to not pick up all these big pieces of junk on there. This was the scene of or this is a sidewalk from part of a scene of a car accident that happened just down the street from me. And as you see, there's a bits and pieces, flotsam and jetsam of the accident. It turns out that the road crew or the accident crew, they don't clean it up anymore, I guess, unless there's a fatality. So all they did was sweep everything to the side of the road, onto the curbs and onto the sidewalk. So you see all the little yellow circles that I made, all the pieces of junk that are there. When I go by on this route, I pick up as many pieces as I can and then move on, knowing full well that I'll be back to do it the next time. So here is day three of week 86, and as you see, I found a hat and a ton of food wrappers and to-go containers and all of that. It's like they ate as they were going down Hatch Road, and they were just throwing out bits and pieces of it. Then the normal beer cans and crushed beer cans, and then a lot of cigarettes for a Wednesday, which is day three. So I was very surprised at that. So then I went into week 7. As you see here, this is the route going by the accident again, and so there's like large pieces of stuff, a dog water bowl, bunch of again the normal flotsam and jetsam I normally see. There's vape pens on the top left, as you notice, and funny enough, both of them were strawberry, and the other one was strawberry watermelon. So I guess strawberry is the big flavor now for, I want to say, maybe for a large number of women. I don't know, it could be men too. Don't know who's throwing all those vapes out because they're rechargeable. This is day 6. This is my normal coffee run that I do with some friends in the morning on Saturday. And as you see, someone who's not a really cool dad anymore because his shirt was buried under a mound of leaves and everything. So glass cleaner container, some various bits of weird stuff, a bit of styrofoam, another chamois rag, and then of course the cigarettes that we normally find on our route, which again is sad. Yes, so there you have it, the trash in the hood. And again, it was a pretty gnarly accident that happened right down the street from me on El Salito and Hatch, I believe. The car was late at night. I believe it hit another car, but I don't know whether that car was stationary or not. And then it went into a house, a yard, and barely hit. I'm sorry, didn't go into the house, but barely stopped in time and took out part of the retaining wall of the cement blocks that you see a lot here on El Salito, especially on the corners. So the homeowner got really lucky that it didn't go into their house, and it's still a mess over there. And like I said, they don't. I guess they don't clean up junk anymore. Like I guess they expect the street sweeper to do it, but I haven't seen a street sweeper here in years, so I don't know what they were expecting it to happen. So they just swept it all into the curb. So it's all on the curb and on the sidewalks right there. And so when my friends and I walk, we go and we limit ourselves to between 20 and 30 pieces at a time because we could stay there all day. I mean, it really needs someone to just go by with a shovel, pick it all up, throw it into a trash can, and go from there. But I don't really have that with me, so I just pick up what I can. So if you're also one of those who like to pick up stuff, please use grabbers and gloves and just pick up whatever you can to keep on your walk. Now, I have a minimum amount of distance that I want to try to walk every day for my health, so I pick up the amount of pieces I can, and then I move on full well knowing that I'm going to be there on that same route next week, the following week. So if I'll just pick up those pieces. No one else seems to be doing it at this point, or from what I can see, because it looks exactly the same when I get back to it. But give me a couple months, and all those pieces should be gone, and we should have a nice clean street again. Okay, so now we're going to go into the next section, which is my Zen moment, and I've gotten really good feedback from it. Sometimes there's a poem, sometimes they're not. Oh, and by the way, I know today is Happy Bunny Day, Happy Easter for those of you that celebrate it. So I hope you're enjoying this day, celebrating with your family and friends, and you're getting some good Easter eggs. So I treated myself to a couple of M&Ms, peanut M&Ms in pastel colors, so it was all good. And that's pretty much it for me. So and I'm doing the show. So that's my present to myself. So let's go ahead and go into our Zen moment. All right, so mom's gonna kill me on the hair. So there you have it. There is your Zen moment for the day for April 1st, 2024. I hope you're enjoying yourself out there or at home, wherever you are. So I've been getting some good feedback. Thank you for any and all feedback that I get. Almost all have been positive, so I appreciate that. I have been trying to think of new things that I can do for the show because I know I don't want to make it stale because then I start losing people that way. So definitely there's some sections that I want to keep, but there's other sections that I could toss and bring some in, or I can go a little bit longer and really see what I can do as far as that. So if you're interested in being on the show, you have something that you'd like to talk about, or you would like to be a co-host, that we can just do a back and forth Q&A session, let's go ahead and do that. So reach out to me however you know how to get a hold of me, or you can reach out to me on my show on YouTube, Javier In The Air. That's Javier In The Air, and my handle is Javier In The Air 01, all one word. So you could do that, or if you have a mom and pop business that you own or that you are a part of and you'd like for it to be on the show, any publicity is good publicity, they say. So I can have you on the show and we could talk about whatever product or products or whatever your store does. If you have a hobby or interest or a passion about something, barring the two that I always bar, then reach out to me and we can do something. We can either have you here on the show, which I can make room in my studio so that we can have two people on the air, or we can, that little hair is bothering me, or we can have it via Zoom or some other kind of chat application like that. So just let me know. So now we're going to go to a new Spirit Times. And for those of you who are new, again, welcome. Spirit Times has to do with a review of either a beer, an alcohol, or a wine. And this came about from the creation of the show, actually. But prior to that, for many years since I've lived in this house, I have done a tasting. It was not great during COVID because, of course, you couldn't really have people over, but it was good during the times that before and after COVID. So once a month, I would have something along those three, and we would have a tasting, and friends would come over and they'd bring their submission, because there is a gift card and or cash at the end of the show, at the end of the tasting, I should say. We have food here, we have good time, fun, laughter. We're drinking here and there. There's food always, so and I make sure that no one goes home that can't drive. At least make sure that they're fine until they can drive home. So the last one, we've gone and done just about everything. You name a liquor or a beer or a wine, and I'm sure we've done it. I kid you not. This is now almost 9.5 years now that I've lived in this house, and I started doing it about 3 months in. So you can see where how we pretty much hit everything. So if you think I haven't hit it, send me a note, and I'll let you know whether we've hit it and how long ago we have hit it. So this past month, March, now that we're on April, but in March we did a wheat beer or a Hefeweizen beer tasting, and so we got 14 submissions, so it was quite a lot. I don't think I got all the photos taken, and I don't think I got the winning one. No, I did have the winning one. I think I got it on picture, but I still have it on the wall here. That's why I saved it for my tasting. So without further ado, let's go into Spirit Times Wheat Beer Hefeweizen Tasting. Hey everybody, welcome to Spirit Time. So this is the wheat beer Hefeweizen. So we started off really strong. So we had Shock Top, which was really good. And then we had the Paulaner, however you want to call it, Hefeweizen. That was decent too. The first two were really good. Southern Roots was a little bit on the more sour side, but it wasn't too bad. All in all, this is right next to the left of it is Bell's Oberon Eclipse, and that was really good. In fact, it was my number one until I got to taste the other ones. And then right next to it is another Hefeweizen one, which was okay, but it wasn't that great. And so it didn't change my number one. Let's put it that way. So those are the first five, and then we started going on. As you see, we added two more. Now that one that's all in German there in a Germanic type font turned out to be really horrible. It was really, really, really smoky, like a smoky whiskey that uses peat. And if you like that, shame on you. If you don't like it, then you're like the rest of us, and it just was not good at all. And then we did have one, don't laugh, Hogarden. Hogarden turned out wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. It didn't change my mind as to what was available, but it was there. So those are the first seven. And we were taking a break after the first five, and then we started taking a break shorter periods of that. So now if you look to the left of the Hogarden, we have Texas Heffa, which was my submission. It was okay. It was a lot of people liked it, but then I got actually 4 votes, which I'm surprised that I got so many votes. But it didn't matter because it wasn't the winner. And then next to the Texas Heffa was another Bell's um, submission, which was their normal beer, and it was really good, but it wasn't the winner. So and then we, as you saw, we took a break after this because we had a lot of beer coming up next still. So after that Bell's one is this is Wonder Boy that is produced by Red Horn, and it was okay. It wasn't great. And then unfortunately, beer started getting the best of us all. So I only got one more beer to show you, but there's like 3 more beers still. In fact, the winner I didn't get like I thought I did. I did not get. But it was good. So at this point, the beer was flowing heavily. Everything was good. We were stopping to make sure everybody got carbo loading so that they would be good. We had some good food around. We had some brats, and we had some mixed chips, and we had a bunch of pretzels and all that. So this was actually number 11, which was Bavik Super Vit, which means super white, which is kind of ironic coming out of Belgium, but there you have it. So unfortunately, I didn't get the other one. So the winner was the one that came right after this, called Tangerine Queen, and that one was just really fantastic. I couldn't speak enough about it. We did have a duplicate submission, another Paulaner Hefeweizen, so we didn't really drink that one. And then we had number 14, which was a live oak wheat beer submission. So it was fantastic. Thanks to Amy, who submitted the Tangerine Queen. She won the door prize. And so if you have a chance to taste some of these beers, I highly recommend them. They're light, except for that horrible one that tasted like smoke. They're very light on the palate, so you would really enjoy it well with the food that we had that night. So overall, it was great, and thanks to Amy for Tangerine Queen once again. Okay, so there you have the wheat beer Hefeweizen tasting. So next month, or this month I should say already, because it is April 1st, we're going to be doing a sparkling wine, which can include champagne, because we're not snobby enough to exclude champagne, because champagne is champagne, everything else is sparkling wine. But we went ahead and included champagne, so if someone wants to bring a Dom Perignon or something like that, they're more than able to, and we would allow it. So I'm not sure yet if we're going to do this as a brunch or not yet. So it kind of people were on the fence, kind of a 50-50. I didn't get a firm decision as to which way I should go. So I'm going to talk around some more and see if anybody's interested. So if you happen to be in the Cedar Park area and like to partake of the event, I'm not sure what day it is yet either, but it'd probably be like the third week, more than likely the third week of April. Not sure yet. Maybe the second weekend, which is coming up pretty quick. So I might make it the third or the last weekend of April. Weather's still holding on. It's been overcast this weekend, but it hasn't rained, which is unfortunate because I've been having to water my garden. In fact, after I finish this producing this episode, I will be going out and watering my front yard because I have my backyard going. So So yeah, so we'll do that as far as the spirit times go and the tasting. So next show will be in 2 weeks, and then we'll have our regular beer or wine or alcohol tasting at that point. So back to the garden. If you are working on a garden and you have any ideas, I get great ideas from the Pavlovskis, 2 doors down. They are Mr. and Mrs. Green Jeans. They grow everything and anything, and they grow it well. It's fantastic, great stuff. I wish I was more like them in that respect. I'm barely struggling to get things grow that should like grow like a weed, and yet they don't seem to grow. But I did come across something, and thanks to my friend Julia Takashita, who led me on to this, which was I put some covers over. So what I have is I don't want to say what they are yet unless I can actually get them to show, and then I'll have them on the show. Show as in grow as in show. Yes, I know. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to grow something in the front yard around what is now looks like a defunct blueberry bush. It didn't survive the cold snap, so I'm going to have to tear that out and put something else in maybe this coming weekend. And so I'm trying to get them to grow, and what's happening is that they're getting into little sprouts, and then the next day when I check on them, they're gone. So I'm not saying that they died. I'm saying they're gone. So I'm thinking little birds are just pulling them out. And so what Julia helped me or told me about is like, why don't you put a cup over it? And I said, well, I really want to have a cup that will bring the sun in still. So I can't just cut a solo cup, hoping that it'll protect them from the birds when they're opaque, and so I'm not going to get any sunlight, so they're going to die that way. So I found these cones about that big, cone shaped, green, translucent, so they do let the light in. And I put them around the little seedlings that I have up front, and now they are growing like gangbusters. At least it was as of yesterday when I checked them. Growing very well under there. I put enough dirt around the cone itself so that it's not easily kicked over. Maybe a strong wind would come through and do that, but I'm hoping that doesn't come before they get large enough. So once they get to a certain size, then you're relatively safe unless they have fruit, and then the birds are taking the fruit. But that's not what these are. So I'm one of them is actually already about that size, so that's pretty good. So once they get to a certain size, then they're relatively safe from the birds. I'm not saying that they are totally safe, because that's usually not the case. Plus there's also squirrels and anything else that could get to them. The squirrels seem to be leaving them alone. I really think it's the birds. But anyway, so if you have other tried and true methods of trying to keep birds and squirrels and everything out of your garden, please send me a note here on Javier in the Air, and let me know what you use, so then I can try that as well. But things seem to be going well. I got 6 spots out of 9 growing something. I'm not sure if it's exactly what I planted or if it's something else, but it's something. So I'm happy about that. And then in my backyard, I currently have about 4 spots that are growing from all the stuff I threw back there. So maybe this coming weekend I'll probably seed some more items back there and see if I can get something more to grow. So I'm hoping to. I just looked at those yesterday, so I'm gonna look at them today. No, probably tomorrow afternoon, and see how they're handling it. And if they're doing well, I'll take photos of it. I might even take photos of the front, because I think at this point you still can't tell what they are. So I think I'm going to go with that. So now we're going to the next section of the show, still relatively new, called Riddle Me This. I do get some answers, so thank you for people submitting your guesses as to what they are. So it's a picture of something, and then I do a pullback so you can see the full picture, so you know what it is. So this week I am revealing the Riddle Me This number 4, or number 5 actually, and then I'll be submitting a close-up of number 6. So here we go. Dark Frog Social Media presents Riddle Me This. Okay, so I did have some people ask about this, and this is This is Riddle 5. This is the cutaway. So, yes, it is a hospital type device, and yes, it is a medical device, and yes, it is used to look into the body. That was another one that they couldn't figure out what it was. And so, yeah, so this is, let's see what it is actually. Okay, so here is the thing. It's a type of MRI device. So, for those of you who may not have known, I actually went a couple of weeks ago and had a calcium scoring test done for the old ticker to see what my score was as far as whether there was any plaque buildup or something like that. So I thought it would be pretty cool to have this for Riddle Me This. So this is the actual machine. The young lady was nice enough. She seemed surprised and was like, whatever, for me to take a photo of this device. I guess no one ever does. And I didn't want my phone to get like wiped or sucked into it, and she said it was fine. So I took this photo of it. So there it is, a MRI machine. Pretty cool. And here we go, especially for April 1st, and for what, Happy Bunny Day. Here is Riddle Me This number 6. So you might guess some of it right away, but I'm looking for exactly what they may be specifically. I'm not looking for where they are located or if and may they may be in something, but no, I'm just looking specifically as to what these are. So what are they? Let me know. And that's our show, everybody. I hope you enjoyed the Trash in the Hood, the Zen Moment, the Spirit Time, and then finally Riddle Me This. If you have any thoughts, comments, or concerns, please send me a note either on here or my YouTube channel, Javier In The Air. You can also tag my handle, which is Javier In The Air 01, all one word. Or if you know me on Facebook, Instagram, or that's pretty much those. Those are the ones you can get. Or if you have my number, you can text me as well. So, always looking for new stuff to add to my show. So if you're interested, just let me know. Hope everybody has a good day today and a good rest of your week. Next week, I probably will be posting something special for the eclipse. So it may not be a full Javier in the Air. It may be just a special eclipse episode that would be a side tangent to the normal show. I'm hoping to get some great photos, maybe even some video as well, because in the Cedar Park area and the Austin area, you can see 100% full totality. Now that may only last for a minute and a half. I think it lasts for maybe 2:47 for the Cedar Park area, but be sure and wear your certified eclipse glasses, because there are a lot of people that are trying to get in on that excuse me, and have been sending or making fake eclipse. So you need to make sure they're certified, because you don't want to burn your eyeballs out. But if you are in the Austin Cedar Park area, or you're in that long swath of Texas that keeps going throughout the United States, but if you want, you can go to, I believe NASA.gov does have a site up that will let you know. You can put in your zip code and it will tell you the exact time that the totality will be over your zip code. I believe mine is sometime between 1:35 and 1:38 on Monday the 8th. So if you really want to check it out, please do. Otherwise, have a good rest of your week, and I will talk to you all again soon. Thanks a lot, everyone.